Hello, I'm Laura. It is July 31st, 2025, and these are today's Heartlines. Yes, you are hearing my voice and seeing the garden outside my window right now. This video is a few hours late getting up for a couple of reasons. One is I just wasn't feeling well last night when it came time for posting, and I had to get some rest. And the other is I simply couldn't think of what to say. And then I looked out my window and saw this garden and got an inspiration early in the morning as the sun was rising. So here we are on July 31st, 2025, with today's Heartlines. And I must say that as I've looked at the headlines over the past week or so, they haven't changed all that much. We had an earthquake off the coast of Russia yesterday, which sent out a tsunami, which did some but little damage, and we are safe as a humanity from that event. But other than that, not much has changed for a week with the theme of change. Children are still starving in Gaza, although there are airdrops of food and more aid is getting in, but it is still dangerous to go and get that aid as people are fired upon when they go to get it. In Ukraine, the shelling has not only continued but increased in Kyiv, where there is more property damage and more loss of human life. The flood victims in Texas are in a great time of recovery and of feeling the loss and just starting as best as they can to rebuild. And the national parks are still striving to find ways to make it through the economic times in the United States, so that they can survive the budget cuts that have been happening. So all of these things continue, and they continue to be in the headlines. And we want them to be different, don't we? Or at least I do. At least that's my human response, is I want it to be different because I want everybody to experience a beautiful garden outside their door or outside their window. I want the whole world to be a garden space. And I imagine that many of us do. We wish that on our fellow human beings, that they live in a beautiful and safe place. So what can we do? Well, we can follow those guidelines I've given before. We can donate, we can volunteer, we can write to our congressman, we can educate our friends and neighbors about what's valuable to us. And right now we can start planting seeds. Each thing we do, in fact, is a seed planted that can produce a beautiful plant or some wonderful fruit, but it does take time. Just as the garden outside of my window has taken time to plant and grow, and patience and persistence in care, so we need to be patient and persistent in doing what we do to care for our world. And that's what inspired me about the garden today. I know, because I've been a gardener myself, that it does take that patience and that persistence to grow a beautiful garden. And we start by planting those seeds. So the seed we are planting today is a seed of love, and it comes from our heart out to the world. And it is a seed of energy and thought, but it can transform into a seed of action as we do what we are guided to do to make a difference. But let's begin with that seed of energy and thought as we go into prayer. Let's take a deep breath and close our eyes and hold in our hearts this special idea. I plant seeds of love with my loving thoughts and actions. I plant seeds of love with my loving thoughts and actions. And so it is. So when you send out loving thoughts to the people of Gaza and the people of Israel, to the people of Ukraine and the people of Russia, to the people in Texas who are recovering from the floods, and to those who are helping them recover, to the people of our national parks as they make important decisions on how to make it through financial difficulty, and to the people who enjoy those national parks. Then slowly but surely, with persistence and patience in our loving actions, the garden of our planet can grow. So thank you for joining me to grow this special garden of humanity and of Earth today. And have a wonderful day.